Alright, we're back. I just had dinner. Fish and chips last night were so good that I had them again. And now I'm going on my post-dinner walk. Excuse my breathlessness, I just climbed up a mountain. So, this is Alexander Nevsky Cathedral on the hill called Toompea. And there you can see the domes. It's a Russian Orthodox church. And this one is the one that's quite controversial because the first time through, the Russians actually built it to show the Estonians that Russians have power here. And once we get around the edge here, you'll see what they did. Here are the original walls to the city. So those were made to separate the upper town from the lower town. And I actually had it wrong last night when I was talking. The upper town belonged to the knights, and then the lower town was the merchants. And they didn't want anything to do with each other. So they built a wall and separated the city into two parts. We're still by the cathedral. And why the cathedral is so controversial is because this is actually the parliament for Estonia. And so the Russians built this church right across the street facing the parliament for that reason. So we're going to do a walking tour. Toompea is super charming. This area is just beautiful. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. I'm still going up a hill, so I'm still breathing hard. I didn't walk as much today, only probably 6 miles today. I have a feeling I've lost weight. Yay! All you need to do is go on vacation. But this coming up, oh, one other thing about the doorway to Alexander Nevsky. I actually got in trouble when I first showed up there because I went inside, and the inside was beautiful, filled with the icons that you would expect in an Orthodox church. But I got in trouble because I took out my camera and took a picture, and it was barked at in Russian, and then barked at in Estonian, and then barked at in English. So, lesson learned, don't take pictures. At least until you get here. So this is the Dome Church. The inside of this church is just unbelievable. So this is the one from the video yesterday that had the organ concert. So this is pretty outstanding. It's a little beat up, but I think I would look worse for wear if I were also 600 or 700 years old. A lot of these buildings actually house the embassies for most of the countries that aren't involved with Estonia. We just walked by, I can't remember, I think it was France. Maybe that's coming up, I don't really remember. As controversial it is, that church is really hard to not look at, right? So here's the other church, Dome Church. And they have these little booths set up all over. And they sell nuts that have been flavored. And they dress in medieval wear. It's a little cheesy, but it's super endearing. So here's one of the embassies. I can't remember which one. But we're going on a walking tour that was actually recommended by Lonely Planet. So Lonely Planet had a flop today, but this worth definitely makes up for this walk definitely makes up for it. The flop today was the palace. The inside of the palace was a joke. It was filled with stuff that said things like, Catherine thought about visiting here in 1860, or this replica was made by an apprentice of someone who once went to the Louvre. So yeah, it was a bit of a dud. So we're still walking, obviously. This walk is worth it for sure. So this is what I did immediately after I got off the ferry from Finland. I walked up to Toompea and did this walk that was suggested by Lonely Planet. Oh yeah, I got sidetracked. So the palace was definitely not worth it, but this walk is definitely awesome. The Dutch Embassy, the Irish Embassy, the security guard, the Dutch Embassy, or sorry, the Irish Embassy. So this is what I did right off the ferry, and it's probably easy to see why I fell in love with the city immediately. These streets are just something else. Look at that. Look at that. So come out here through this little gate into this plaza. It's filled with souvenir shops that all say the same things, sell the same things. Amber and wool and stacking dolls. I finally got some stacking dolls though. I ended up paying $32 for them. 32 euros. But yeah, so this happens. Out of nowhere, you end up on the edge of Toompea and you look out over the old city. So check this out. This is pretty amazing, right? So that little tower with the red roof, that's part of the original walls that separated Lower Town from Upper Town. Those are from like 11 or 1200s. You can see some of the churches back there. Just beyond that tall tower is where the ferries dock. So that's where I came in. It's a very quick walk. Way over in the distance there's like a semicircle, and that is the Coral Ground, so that's where I went earlier today. But yeah, it's the Baltic Sea. There's some ducks. You can see it's a pretty amazing view. Estonia is filled with winning.